In today's video, NFL Europe returns to Madden, and I'm taking the Amsterdam Admirals into franchise mode alongside other classic teams from NFL Europe like the Frankfurt Galaxy, Barcelona Dragons, and the Rhine Fire. First, we start with a league-wide reset of the rosters with a fantasy draft. Of course, Pat Mahomes goes number 1 to Barcelona, but we're simming through the rest to save time. And the Admirals, we have landed a couple of stars ourselves, led on defense by Roquan Smith and Minkah Fitzpatrick. And now some teams to look out for in the preseason. The Sofia Bears are ranked number 1 in blocking. QB Aaron Rodgers has to like that. And the Madrid Bravos first in coverage, along with a second-ranked pass rush. That sounds like a dangerous combination, but even better are the Stuttgart Surge, who are top 10 in 4 categories, including number 1 in both rushing and pass rush. If they can't make the playoffs, I don't know who can. Maybe it'll be the Navigators, who are number 1 in team speed. Might have something to do with Tyreek Hill and Caleb Williams. And lastly, the Dragons. They are ranked first in passing. Now, will these rankings actually mean anything? Well, let's find out and sim this season. And so, after a long season, the Admirals finished 9-8. A decent record, but looking at the playoff bracket, it is not enough. Our final stats show a surprising statistical renaissance out of Deshaun Watson, but a poor running game might have kept us out of the playoffs. I don't know. How about the rest of the league? Von Miller, he led NFL Europe in sacks with 19 of them on the Helsinki Roosters. Then it was the Claymores running back Saquon Barkley, who won the rushing title with over 1,500 yards, but it was DeAndre Swift of the Sofia Bears who got the goal line touches with the league-leading 16 touchdowns. Then in receiving, Keenan Allen had a career year on the Munich Ravens, leading the league with 1,541 yards and 22 touchdowns. And his QB, Justin Herbert, wins the MVP. He finished with 4,500 yards and 49 touchdowns on the year. Meanwhile, Coach of the Year, while we're handing out awards, goes to Dave Canales of the Centurions. Okay, now let's go from stats to the final standings. The playoffs are set. The number 1 seed in the AFC are the Berlin Thunder. They finished a league best 15-2 out of the AFC North. Number 1 out of the NFC with a bye is the Scottish Claymores, 13-4 on the year. And now, before we simulate the wild card, here are your first round matchups. In the AFC, it's the 2 seed Barcelona Dragons versus the 7 Marseille Blue Stars, the 3rd seed Milan Seamen versus the 6th Minsk Monsters, followed by the 4-5 Sofia Bears versus the Rhine Fire. Over in the NFC, the 2-7 matchup is the Cologne Centurions versus the Dublin Rebels. In the 3-6, it's the Vienna Vikings versus the Stuttgart Surge. And finally, in the 4-5 game, it's the Copenhagen Towers versus the Munich Ravens and MVP Justin Herbert. All right, now it's time to advance. Who is going to make it to the next round? Wow, we had some close games around the league. The Dragons barely escaped the Blue Stars. Then it's the Sailors over the Monsters. And the only underdog to win in the AFC is the Fire, winning over the Bears. On the other side of the bracket, the Centurions hold off the Rebels by just 2 points. The Vikings are upset in the playoffs by the Surge in a big way, and the Ravens, they take care of business against the Towers. And so our number 1 seeds finally come into play. Our divisional matchups are the Thunder versus Fire, and Dragons versus Sailors. Then it's the Claymores versus Surge, and Centurions versus Ravens. In the NFC, already who's making it to the conference finals? Let's advance to see our final 4, and it looks like another close round of games. Thunder win by a field goal over the Fire. Dragons win by 2 touchdowns over the Sailors. But in the NFC, the Claymores only beat the Surge by 3, and the Centurions only win it by 6, knocking out the MVP of the league, Justin Herbert, in the process. Now here's a look at our final 4 squads. The Thunder are led by Joe Burrow and Terry McLaurin on offense, and Matt Milano and Daniil Hunter on defense. Meanwhile, their opponent Our offensive juggernauts, it's Mahomes, Mixon, and George Pickens as their top three on offense. So the AFC will feature an elite QB battle. However, the NFC will feature two elite backs instead. The Claymores have the leading rusher in Saquon Barkley, while their opponent, the Centurions, will lean on their back, Christian McCaffrey. So we got QB versus QB, running back versus running back. Now be sure to leave your predictions below because it's time to jump into the action for the final 3 games, the Euro Bowl is on the line, and we start in Berlin. It's the AFC Championship game. Here we go. It's Coach Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes reunited on the Barcelona Dragons versus Coach Stefanski and Joe Burrow on the Berlin Thunder in the first. Berlin Burrow throws, intercepted, just the second play of the game, and this one is going to get returned back to the house. Not the start the Thunder wanted in the rain, but the Dragons take the early lead, but the Thunder bounce right back. Burrow finds his number 1 target, Terry McLaurin, in the end zone. Tie game at 7. Later in the first, Dragons with the ball, and Mahomes driving into the red zone, pass complete down the middle. Then Mahomes dropping back, surveying, throwing back in the end zone, double coverage, big mistake. Cole Bishop with the INT. Thunder get their revenge, and here, Burrow slinging it out to the left. McLaurin can't be brought down with the first tackle or the second. He is down at the 1 or 2 yard line. Then Burrow's going to run it in himself, looping all the way around the Dragon defense. Thunder take this lead. Now down 7 in the second. Mahomes, another big mistake, intercepted, going over the middle of the field. Bad first half. Leo Chenal didn't have to work for that one, thrown right to him. Now Mahomes dropping back later in the second. This time he's completing his pass to tight end Dallas Goedert with a big gain. Now in the red zone, Mahomes, play action. He's going to throw this one back to Goedert. Nice hands in a crowd, tied up at 14 with under 20 seconds to go. No time to kneel it before half. The Thunder strike, and Burrow, the huge completion, and Curtis Samuel, the nice catch and run. Now Dragons ball, second half. Mahomes in the red zone. Dallas Goedert, second touchdown of the game, tied at 21. Now Burrow to McLaurin, who dices up this Dragons defense for the score. Thunder back on top, 28-21. Mahomes, X Factor, pulsating in the rain, throws this one deep downfield. It goes inside the 20. Big gain to Kendrick Bourne. Now on a 3rd and 4, just 6 seconds left in the quarter, and this pass goes incomplete, so out trots the kicker, and they hit it for 3. Just a 4-point game going into the final quarter, where Berlin's trying to run out this clock, but Javonte Williams fumbles it. Barcelona recovers in a huge return on defense before Terry McLaurin brings him down. The officials, though, they need another look. Elbow down. Berlin gets a second chance at life. They're going to turn it into 3 points. So now we have a 7-point game again. Under 2 minutes, Mahomes driving the ball deep downfield. Kendrick Bourne with the touchdown. 31-31, a minute left for Burrow, and he takes a bad sack fumble. Lucky to recover this one. He can't believe it. We're headed to overtime. In OT, the Thunder win the toss, so Berlin Burrow, what can he do? No, intercepted. Dax Hill jumps the route to McLaurin, and he's going to take this one all the way back to the house. Unbelievable finish in Berlin. Barcelona comes out on top. Andy Reid and Mahomes bailed out by the defense, and Berlin Burrow goes home sad. What a game. Both QBs airing it out, but both quarterbacks making some big mistakes through the air. 2 interceptions each. Great game. Burrow, not much of a running game going for either team. Burrow leading his team, but Paris Campbell, Curtis Samuel, and Kendrick Bourne, 3 receivers with huge numbers, over 100 yards each. And now, who will go to the Euro Bowl against the Dragons? Will it be the Centurions and Jared Goff, or the Scottish Claymores and Sam Darnold? Well, the real engine of this team is Saquon Barkley, shedding a tackle, getting the first, marching down the field. And here on 3rd and 10, Darnold, nowhere to run. He is swallowed up in the backfield. Brandon Graham with the sack, and so the Claymores settling for the field goal at the 32 in the rain. Not easy, but they get it to go. 3-0. Claymores back in the second. This time they punch it in. That's DK Metcalf going over the middle. 10-zip Claymores. But here's Goff throwing to his right. Oh, intercepted. Marshawn Lattimore saw it coming a mile away. Pick six, 17-0 Claymores. Now the handoff to McCaffrey, looking for a big gain, but he fumbles this one right back to the Claymores. Unbelievable. The route continues. Rare mistake by McCaffrey there. Ball punched out, and so Darnold, next possession, 3 minutes to go in the third, gives it right back. Centurions back in this game. That's a pick six. And so here we go. We have a game again. Centurions with the ball. Play action. Darnold. This one not intercepted, not even close. DK Metcalf. Huge gain, big day. 24-7. They punch it in. McCaffrey holds on to the ball. 27-14. Under 2 minutes to go. Jared Goff trying to hustle back, and he's got a big play down the sideline to Darius Slayton. Big play, Slayton. 111. They just need a stop on defense. They hand off to Barkley. He escapes the crowd, and he ices this game. The league's leading rusher puts the Claymores on his back and punches a ticket to the Euro Bowl against the Barcelona Dragons. What a game. Claymores, never a doubt, in full control the whole time. Centurions made it kind of close at the end, but Goff blew it. Coach Dave Canales, Coach of the Year, but that's as far as he'll go. Both QBs up and down. Rushing game. Not much going until Barkley broke it wide open. McCaffrey, not his best. Malik Neighbors, great job, but in the end, the Claymores advanced to the final game. Here we go. Dragons versus Claymores. Euro Bowl action for the NFL Europe starts with a run-stuffing defense by the Claymores and a long dragon kick doinks off the upright. 0-0 later in the first. Sam Darnold steady in the pocket, trying to force it to Metcalf, but this one is intercepted. So many picks. Oh, can he chase him down? This happened in real life. He can't get there. Dragons strike first, 7-0, but the Claymores bounce back. Tyler Algier comes in, steals a touchdown from Barkley. 7-7. Mahomes now firing it over the middle, and the broken tackle to slow spin away. And here the Dragons, George Pickens, making some tough catches and run after catch. Then Mahomes goes to Goddard. Oh, reliable in the red zone. 14-7, 14-10 now into the third. Darnold moving around in the pocket, tossing this one up. Could be dangerous. No, Metcalf comes back for it. Wide open, actually. 3rd and 8. Big play for the Scottish Claymores. And he's got Mike Evans. Sam Darnold has some weapons. He's keeping up with Mahomes. 3-point lead now in the third. Ooh, Mahomes Dragons go down to the 1. 3rd and goal over the middle. Touchdown. Dragons take the lead. Paris Campbell, big game last week. 21-17. Darnold, oops, big mistake. He's prone to throw a few of those. Dragons with the ball, end of the third. Play action. Mahomes moving around between two defenders. We got to take another look at that one. Unbelievable how lucky this ball gets through those guys. Should have been picked, but the Dragons increased their lead. 28-17. Darnold firing back. Big play. Metcalf bouncing off two defenders and making this a one-score game. 28-23, missing the 2-point conversion. Under 2 minutes to go. This is a race for the first down and the game. And look at Goddard bouncing off the small corner. Size advantage. The Dragons can kneel it out. And that's it. That's the game. 28-23, so close. The Claymores nearly had it, but Mahomes and Andy Reid just can't be stopped, whether on U.S. soil or abroad. And the final stats show it all. Both QBs were airing it out, but Mahomes, no picks. Darnold, 2. Might have been able to get away with 1, but the second pick was just backbreaking. And look at these stats. Darnold knew to feed Metcalf. 200 of his 300 passing yards and a few sacks on defense, mostly on the Dragons side, and picks as well. So that ends our season of NFL Europe. I hope you've enjoyed it. There's some more teams I'd like to explore. It's hard to give every team the spotlight, so maybe I'll do a couple franchises if you guys want to leave a comment below who I should start with. So thank you for watching. More videos coming, college and pro. See you in the next one.